Welcome, everybody. What a pleasure it is to be with you today. Thank you for joining, beautiful soul family. Thank you, Lucy, for all your help in the chat, bringing everybody together. Thank you, Drew, for joining today. And I've entitled this live stream, Mercury's Retrograde, How Wonderful. All too often, in the old paradigm of astrology, people are saying, oh, Mercury's retrograde, be careful, don't do this, don't do that, don't do the other. Let's use astrology in a positive way so that we're going downstream rather than upstream. So Mercury's just gone retrograde in Gemini, its ruler. And it's going to be retrograde until the 22nd of June. And it's going to stay in Gemini until the 11th of July. So we've got a long period of Mercury in its home sign. So let's start to think about Mercury retrograde in Gemini. So Gemini rules the hands, the lungs, everything that is twos is Gemini. And Gemini likes to have choices. It likes to have options. It likes to go from a bit of this to a bit of that and a bit of the other sometimes. There's a restlessness to Gemini. It doesn't want to sit still for very long. It doesn't like to have its wings clipped. It wants to be free. So what happens when it goes into a retrograde motion? Well, when Mercury goes retrograde, it's a sure sign to go within. It's not a sign to look outside for your answers. It's a time to look within for messages, for information. It's a time when the thinking can slow down a bit. So if ever there's a wonderful time to come back to a meditation practice, or to deepen your meditation practice, or to try a new kind of meditation practice, there are so many ways to meditate, to get to that place of stillness, of quietness, of peacefulness. And this Mercury retro is a wonderful time to come back to things. Don't be surprised if an ex-partner wanders back into your life, or if there's a message, or you see a notice or a video or something that reminds you of somebody from the past. Here's the thing that it's good for, all right? These are the things to do during a Mercury retrograde. It's wonderful for finding anything you've lost. So what I love to do during Mercury retros is to clean out and clear out. Brilliant time. And it's also, with it being in Gemini, good time to clean up all your files, your passwords, all those kinds of things. It's a lovely time to put things into order. And you may find something really valuable that you lost. So it's really good to do that. It's a great time for speaking more slowly. Reread emails before you send them. It's so easy, isn't it? Right, send. And I'm quite a fast typer, so it's like off it's gone. Now, luckily, there's an undo button, isn't there, in Google. So sometimes I've just caught it and I managed to undo it. But usually if you can just read carefully before you press the send button. Ensure any important mail and packages. So if you're sending something really important, get it in. In Greek here, I'm learning all sorts of new words. Good time to Mercury retrograde. So I'm deepening my knowledge. It's normal, which is habla, or registered, which is sistimeno, where somebody has to sign for it. It's a great time for going on reunions with friends and people you've not seen for a while. It's a wonderful time to reconnect with your roots, with your ancestors, with people that love you from the other side. It's a really good time when you think about Mercury retrograde to think about your life having, because it happens 3 to 4 times a year. It's like having a quarterly review on your life. So it's like pressing the pause button and finishing up what you've got on your plate. Don't start new things, but rather it's a good time for getting things done. Might be time to forgive somebody and to release and to resolve and to let go and just say, I'm moving on. Time to move on. So what would you like to reconnect with? Who would you like to reconnect with? What would you like to go back to that you've not looked at for a while? Maybe some studies. Share. Share. What would you like to go? Who would you like to see? Who would you like to send a message to? Who might be so thrilled to hear from you? Now, I want to apologize here for some of the terms of business of YouTube, and this very often happens during a retrograde. We have a shadow period for about a week or so before Mercury goes retrograde, when things go a little haywire. And then also another shadow period once it goes direct for a week or so. So just before it went retrograde, YouTube announced some revisions to terms of service. And what they've done now is they've given themselves the nod to be able to place adverts on anybody's videos, on anyone's channel, whenever they want. So I just want you to know, many of you have said to me, hey, can't I stop these adverts that come in the middle? Because I definitely don't want adverts in the middle of videos. And I can't stop them. At least I haven't found out how to yet. We are researching it. Lucy's looking into it with me. If she doesn't already know, I'm not sure if I've told you, Lucy, but if I haven't, we're going to look into seeing if we can stop that. But thank you for being patient. And just know that sometimes there are changes of rules and regulations. Things are rescinded very often during retrograde periods. Another thing is, it's a wonderful time to change your thinking, to change your perspective about something, to do things in a new way. So I'm practicing, one of the things I'm practicing is just going out and every person I see, thinking to myself, well, that could be my brother, or maybe that's my daughter, or maybe that's my granddaughter. And just feeling a wave of warmth coming over me when I think about that, a wave of heart energy. Especially if it was somebody in my family that I really loved. So what are the new things, the new ways of thinking that you want to bring in? to your life now during this Mercury retrograde. Good time now, right at the beginning of it, to set some new intentions. All right, what are the new intentions you want to set? So for me, I'm going to commit to learning more vocabulary in Greek. I'm going to commit to speaking more slowly, even if I'm excited. And I'm going to commit to reading my emails more carefully before I send them, and thinking more carefully about the words that I use on live streams, on videos, in conversations, and seeing whether I can upgrade a bit. Nobody seems to be saying very much in the feed, but maybe it's a bit slow. I think my internet's a little slow. So Truth Seeker, you're going to commit to healthy eating. Lovely, fabulous. All right. New intention. Okay, Drew's going to get out of 1D. All right. Orimed is going to love yourself, be more confident, stop comparing yourself to others. Lovely. Deb is going to teach English to kids in Peru. Community's awesome. Yes. Adam is going to speak more slowly and with more love. These are great intentions to set. Mercury retrograde in Gemini, to do with your speech, your writing, your mental activity. Lydia wants to go back to university. Nancy's going to continue to help others. Beautiful. Mama Cujo is going to commit to yourself for once. Awesome. Stephen's going to let go of overthinking. These are great intentions, really good. And it's also a good time to write them down. You might want to do the artist's way, the Julia Cameron, the 3 pages of writing every morning, of journaling, whatever it is. Now, another thing. During a Mercury retrograde, there may be certain little frustrations. And thank you, there are more things coming through. I'm really encouraged that things are coming through now. Thank you for sharing. And also write in the comments as well, for those of you watching afterwards. Really, Tabitha's going to set healthy boundaries. Woohoo! Ellen's going to stop smoking. This is awesome, you guys. Yes. And it's very energized when we do it together and we do it publicly. Because this channel is a support, encouraging, inspiring place where we're setting powerful intentions. Now, Lynn McTaggart, wonderful, wonderful author, speaker, talks about these intention groups, power of 8 groups, which are wonderful. And I hear some wonderful results about them. Amazing. And here we've got power of 500 or more together. So Adam's going to write a new song every day. He's saying he should. That's a little different. No shoulds. Karen's going to eat vegan. Awesome. Okay, so really, let's think about that. Now, one of the other things is, because there may be some little nuisances, sometimes there are delays during Mercury retrograde, things are late. I mean, I can't tell you the number of times during a Mercury retrograde when I've turned up a day early for an appointment. There I am knocking on the door, where are you? And then when finally somebody answers, they say, well, the appointment's not till tomorrow. So these are the kinds of little frustrations that can and often do happen during Mercury retrograde. And this is the perfect time to begin to notice where your resistance comes up. Where are you feeling, ooh, you know, when you get that rush of like frustration, irritation. And it's a wonderful time to begin to welcome the negative. Anything that you see as negative, welcome it. Rather than resisting it and getting brr. I've got a great quote from wonderful Eckhart here. When you abide in this state of acceptance, so whether you're accepting whatever's happening around you, even if it seems negative, you don't create any more negativity. You don't create any more suffering, no more unhappiness. You live in a state of non-resistance, a state of grace, of lightness, free of struggle. And I think this energy of getting to this lightness energy, which is the Gemini energy, is if we can live in that state of acceptance. Not easy, I know. Well, I can say that I don't find it easy to do, but I'd sure like to learn to do it. So I'm going to make that a part of my awareness. What about being born in a Mercury retrograde, says Miriam? Well, of course, a quarter to a third of the population of the world is born during a Mercury retrograde. So very often people born during a Mercury retrograde are very comfortable during Mercury retrograde periods. But not only that, they're usually very often very good writers. They think more carefully, more deeply, more slowly. Yeah. There's a lot to that. You might want to get my retrograde series, which you can get on my website, Lucy. You'll find that somewhere when you get a chance. So look and see, where is Gemini in your chart? Where is this sign Gemini? I've got so many things on my desk here. What with the keyboard, teddies. So you're looking for this. Okay, you're looking for this, looking for that sign, the twins. And you want to see which house is it in for you? Where do you need to reflect? Okay. We're working with a lot of things this month, right? A lot. Mercury Retro. We've got the solar eclipse coming up on the 10th of June, 10th, 11th. On the 14th, we've got the exact square of Saturn-Uranus. Freedom, authority, restriction, breaking out. That's very significant this month. So there's a lot happening this month, and I will cover that in as a separate video. But what is happening is that this Gemini energy is in a square aspect to Neptune in Pisces. So I think I'd like to just play this musically. It's so nice to be able to play something to you and not to worry if somebody's going to copyright it, because they can't. So we're working with this Gemini energy, which is playful. All right, so this is the light Gemini. Needs to have a lightness of touch. If you can think to yourself, I'm going to touch everything lightly. I'm even going to pick up my phone more gently. Maybe I could hold it more gently. What could I do with the lightness of touch, a feather that you're working with? And it's also very logical. So we have to remember not to get too logical here, because this is a beautiful quote by Tagore, who says, "A mind all logic is like a knife all blade. It makes the hand bleed that uses it." Powerful. So if you're all logic, you've just got a blade and you can be bleeding. So we need some emotion. We need some heart, we need some feeling. So musically, we could perhaps have something musically here. Yes, it's more flowing. Emotions have more flow to them. Logic is more staccato. It can still be playful, it can still be fun, it can still be cheeky. But the emotions have got this sense of movement. It's a different kind of movement. So we're working with these two energies. It's almost as if one hand is playing this very staccato type of rhythm. Yes. So you might be, gosh, I'm putting myself on the spot here, but Gemini is spontaneous, if nothing more. There's a spontaneity to it. So you might be working with something very flowing in the left. So on. So, but what you would want to be able to do is to segue from that into but you may have one hand playing the very emotional part of you does not get lost. So how do you mix these two? Can you see how difficult that is? We've got a square going on. And squares don't want to mix. Yeah, one says, I'm right. And this is the only way to see it. And the other says, no, I'm right. So it's a bit like often in conversations in the past that I've had with previous relationships with men, the male energy is sometimes very, very logical. And the female wants to get into the emotions of it. Hey, let's talk about some feelings here. So you're being asked to bring together your logic and your feelings and to reassess because of the Mercury retrograde. And here's the quote. Here is the quote that really, to me, brought this Mercury retro together. Again, it's Eckhart, seems to be, Eckhart's just got these amazing quotes. They're very accessible for the everyday person. And he says this, and this is, to me, epitomizes the message of this Mercury retro. Rather than being your thoughts and emotions, be the awareness behind them. So instead of identifying with whatever is coming up for you mentally or emotionally, see with this Mercury retro in Gemini whether you can become aware of what you're thinking, aware of what you're feeling, and not get swept away with it. So, Gemini wants to know everything. And the Pisces energy says we don't know anything for sure. So we're dealing with these two energies. And you may come up with this energy inside of you and also with other people. So just be conscious of it. Just see if you can become aware of it. Where do you feel you are right now? Do you feel that you are more in the logical end of things? Or do you feel you're more in the emotional? Or are you in that state of awareness? This higher consciousness that we're all working towards, so that we can step out of destructive, painful patterns that cause suffering to ourselves and to others. So, any comments, anything you want to share? Wonderful. So, since we can put our hands together in prayer, I think this is a wonderful time now together. I'll take my hat off for this so that I can demonstrate it. If we could just now put your hands gently somewhere on your head, wherever you like. Here, here. Give it a lot of thanks. It's working hard. It does a lot for you. And then you might want to just, please, with me, when you're ready, just put your hands on your heart and thank your heart for doing such a beautiful job. And you may want to have a teddy or somebody, or a kitty or a dog or a person to cuddle to bring that through. When I spoke with Auntie Jenny tonight, she was thrilled to hear about all these teddies. I'm going to send her a photo. And she said, I've got teddies all over. She said, I often cuddle the teddy in Nat's bed. That was her dear husband of many, many years. She said, I often cuddle that one and say, hello, Natalie. So give thanks for that soft side in you. Welcome that soft side in you. These are ways of using this Gemini energy in a soothing way. He doesn't like being separated from his brother. So come here, Olivier. So Olivier and Boris, they like to be together, the twins. So we can use our hands in prayer, in healing. And we can also use our hands to clap. So let's clap along with this one. I'm closing out here. If you're happy and you know it. My pedals disappeared. With me, please, I hope you're joining me. La, 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 la. Along. I wish we could hear each other. I wish I could hear you now clapping along, but I hope that this, clap your hands with joy. Use and become aware of the gift of the power of your hands, of your mind, of your thoughts, of your emotions, of your awareness, of your consciousness. I'm so, so grateful from the bottom of my heart for you, my dear soul family. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Drew. You have done a terrific job today. Thank you to those who have donated on the channel, contributed, for your wonderful comments and sharings. And I do hope you'll join me tomorrow. I've got Chiron webinar coming up tomorrow, Greece time, 7 p.m. Lucy, if you would put it on there, it's part 2. You can get the recording of part 1 if you'd like it. And I'm just giving you the Pleiadians in time to come in. It's really funny. But they just want to say, we love you. We love you. We do. We're always, always with you. And we love you all so very much. And everything is vibrating at a new frequency. You may find yourself a little twitchy at times. And don't worry about it. Yes, you just let yourself twitch. Yes, enjoy twitching and shifting and, you know, doing funny things with your mouth and your nose, and just let things, let things revel in this new frequency that is really vibrating upon your planet Earth. There is a very wonderful new frequency coming in, dear ones. Yes, as you begin to become flexible and adaptable, and aware that there are many more energies than your 5 senses currently perceive. We talked about the 12 senses recently upon a video with dear Mary Jo Cranmore on the Soulful Revolution. You might want to check that little video out. And we will be discussing the other senses, the other 7 that you will be able to begin to get in tune with, yeah. Oh, we love you all so very much, and we'd like to leave you with a little mystery and a little curiosity, you see, because Gemini likes to find out new things. So we love you, love you, love you. We do. Much love to you all. Thank you so much for listening. From me and the Teddies and the Pleiadians. Bye for now. Thank you.